Biden's administration just changed the course of history forever with this decision. Today, the US and Saudi Arabia just ended a 50-year petrodollar pact. Anyone who's unaware, the US had a monopoly on trading oil, meaning anywhere in the world, if you wanted to buy or sell oil, it had to be using US dollars. And since we got rid of the gold standard back in the 70s, meaning that our money is no longer backed by gold, it was backed by oil. It's kind of the reason that we went to war and set up so many proxy wars around the globe, was to threaten people and make sure they were using oil and that we had access to it. Not anymore. Going forward, thanks to the decision that was made today, Saudi Arabia will be diversifying its current approach to selling oil, financially cutting ties from the United States. Now, Saudi Arabia alone only makes up around 12% of the global oil production. However, if you go ahead and look at this, you'll see that Iraq makes up 5.3%, Russia makes up 13%, and the United States is sitting in first place at 14.5%. Now, Russia, thanks to its invasion in Ukraine, we don't do business with Russia when it comes to oil production. So Russia is already not using the United States dollar. So now, including Saudi Arabia, we're up to 25% of global oil production not being included in the US dollar. Saudi Arabia.
Wow. Big news, bro. Could mean the end of the petrodollar, which obviously, so to give you some context here, brothers, okay, the petrodollar is how America is so powerful, right? In the world stage. Remember, oil fuels economies. Once you control the oil, once you pump out the oil, you have the power. And America has had a deal with Saudi Arabia for a long time for the Saudis to actually sell their oil in dollars. And Saudis are breaking apart from that, from what I'm hearing, Theo. That's big news, Theo. But it could mean the end of America as a superpower, okay, in the global stage. As an American, Theo, how do you feel about that, Theo? I think that's.
No, it won't mean the end of the United States as a major power. The price of oil, especially Saudi oil, has actually been pegged to the euro for quite some time now. I was trying to go look this up real quick, but although it's been trading in dollars, it's actually been pegged to the euro. They just wasn't traded in euros. So now they're just using, they're probably going to use euros or some other currency or a basket case of currencies instead for oil. That kind of makes sense for them to do that, to diversify. I'm really not that worried about it, especially given the amount of oil that we're producing right now as compared to the 80s. We're definitely producing a lot more than we used to. And the United States is largely self-sufficient. I believe the United States is self-sufficient with oil. Well, I know we are with natural gas, but I don't know about oil. Maybe we are with oil as well. Probably not, but we're getting closer to it. So in that case, I'm really not that worried about the Saudis doing this. It makes that's a good decision on their point. But we still have manufacturing, we still have ideas, we still have stock markets, things like that. That's where we're still very, very strong. Hold on. I would say if Saudis came out with a stock market that replaced the Dow Jones, then I would be concerned. Yeah,
but Theo, why would you want to be concerned, Theo? I think we both agree that America pushes out its ideologies by its influence, money, control of certain resources, control of certain economies, through foreign policy. So the less America becomes, the lesser it becomes powerful, the better it's for everyone, Theo. Because think about it, Theo, like feminism, all this woke stuff is being funded and being pushed by America, Phil, and they do it by the money. But for example, Phil, right? They will obviously, you want money from us. Okay, guess what? You got to push out a certain agendas in your country. But they tried in Africa, in Ghana under Obama, under Biden. So, but we know how they do things, Phil, right? So when America loses its power slowly, isn't that good for everyone, Phil, and the whole woke culture?
It's not. I don't really look at it that way. I look at it in terms of the big influences. So, I mean, if you're looking at that, so countries' options are China, getting money from China, or getting money from the United States, and both of them have conditions attached to it that aren't so popular, right? So, how do you develop without it? That's the big question. Well, get rid of corruption, improve your democratic institutions, and improve your rule of law, your ability to collect taxes, elimination of corruption, and the trustworthiness of the financial sector. If you got all of that together, then you can actually develop yourself. Well, if you don't, then you're going to have some sort of issue. I look at big things like a market. So if you look at United States versus the UK, our stock market is by far stronger than the UK, but it wasn't like that before World War II. That wasn't the case, but after World War II, we took it. So if Saudis could somehow, based upon their oil, if they had a stock market which was better and gave like a better capitalistic value in their country than it did the United States, then that would be trillions and trillions of dollars per day, which would be transferred to the Saudis. Then we'd have something. Yeah. Then I'd be like, yep, they're gonna do something. Yeah, now we have to actually pay attention to this. For right now, no, it's something, but it's not going to be something that will break the back of the United States. Not even close. People were saying this kind of stuff before with the euro, and they had the Deutschmark would be the backbone of the euro, so to be a way to compete properly against the United States dollar. Well, look at fiscal policy with the European Union and how they're dealing with their welfare state. It just meant that the Deutschmark became watered down for the benefit of the poorer southern European states, and it was never a threat at all to the United States dollar at all. And so, if you still have poor policies, you're not going to get anywhere.
Okay, interesting, Theo. But we will follow this development very closely and speak on the channel. But interesting move there by the Saudis.
I gotta make one comment real quick regarding the Saudi oil situation. I was just looking this up. I was doing calculations. If the price of oil were pegged to something like Bitcoin, then we'd have an issue. The United States would have an issue. That would be a total destabilizer. So, yeah, that is something to look at. So, if you guys wanted to speculate and get some cryptocurrency where it could be traded, it could be used by the Saudis to trade. I don't know which one they would do. Probably Burrell would know better than I would. But if that were true, that would be an issue for the U.S. For the dollar.
Okay, interesting. I think he knows what coins took into. Facts, bro. Facts.
Yeah. Because the dollar wouldn't be able to inflate itself. So the dollar, they keep on using inflation all the time. So XRP, yeah, okay, that's it then. So I would say go into XRP and speculation that they're going to use that for trading oil. That would be the place to go into. Because the U.S. government wouldn't be able to keep on using inflation to pay its debt if the price of oil were actually tagged to XRP, and that it determined the exchange rate with a basket of currencies. That would be lethal. That would be very destabilizing. Yeah, I can see an aircraft carrier being off the shore of Saudi Arabia to give them some democracy. Yeah.
As always.
I'm just saying that's it. So I was thinking about that as we were talking. I was just like, there has to be one area where that would actually be bad. What would be the glass, like the one thing to break the glass? And I was like, oh yeah, crypto. Why didn't I think about that? Yeah. So Yeah, XRP. Guys, so
Just
learn it from us. There you go.
just want to make it very clear, right? We're not financial advisors. Once again,
Yeah.
we are not financial advisors. Do your own research. Do your own research, okay? Make it very, very clear. But great point there, Theo. But do your own research, but we are not financial advisors. Once again, we are not financial advisors. Okay, so